Well, I have nothing but positive things to say about my experience at Ramsey, obviously, or else I wouldn't be back here working now.
I'm very thankful for all of the professional development and experiential learning opportunities that rec sports afforded to me.
I had a really hard time, I feel like, when I first got to UGA, like finding my place and figuring out what I really wanted to do, and Ramsey made all of that clear to me. So I thought it was just going to be a simple part-time job, maybe make some friends, and I ended up making a career out of it.
I worked there from 2017 to 2021, so pretty much my entirety of college, and it was by far my favorite thing about UGA.
My leadership, communication, problem-solving skills, working in building facility manager roles there, working in the program assistant role.
Managing conflict in general, that's something that you don't really learn in most places, and I think I'll probably use that throughout my career.
I'd say the biggest thing is the people. The people coming in the facility, the people that I worked with, my supervisors, that's something that I will always cherish.
It gave me the opportunity to live the dream that I've thought I've always wanted. And so far that does hold true.
I joked that it was my home away from home, but in reality it wasn't really a joke. That was very much a fact.
The opportunity to work for rec sports and be a member of the Ram fam was one of the highlights of my undergraduate time.
My experience so far has been fantastic. I love working with all of my coworkers. Everyone's always really nice to me. It was great joining in May. And yeah, it's been a blast.
I met my wife there. That's how the Ram Fan values was displayed. So we met there. Now we're married.
And when I first joined, the staff was really kind. They didn't throw you out to the wolves or anything.
I think that the biggest thing is probably their sense of community, and how when I first joined, everybody was really inclusive and involved me with everything, and everybody was really nice to me, so it was kind of an easy way to become more comfortable in a very new environment for me.
Little tussles, your little debacles, your disagreements, your conflicts are not as important as what you're there to do, and that is to train, it is to lead, it is to teach, and it is to facilitate a good experience.
The customer service aspect translated very well to what I do now, because I work with people every single day. And then lastly, the opportunities like being on the interview committee and being able to have different leadership positions was really valuable to be able to put on resumes and just have those skills moving into your first job outside of college.
And there's just so many other skills that I learned that I can't even put down on paper. So many invaluable things that you learn working in rec sports that you don't even realize that you needed until they come later.
It highlights my entire college career. I had some of my greatest memories working at the IM Fields, and made friends with people I still keep in touch with today. It's such a positive environment for students to be in.
When I started working there, I met over 100 people, and everyone was looking to hang out and meet new people, and I met people from all over the state of Georgia, and we had no experience getting to know each other, and then all of a sudden we grew to some of the closest friends I've ever had. Every roommate that I had in college at UGA ended up being someone that I worked with at Ramsey. It was amazing.
I had a really warm welcome back into the Ram fam. I think really once you're in it, you kind of never leave it.
So I truly do believe that my experience working at Ramsey helped set up my future success.
The Ram Fan value was something that I felt right away. As soon as I started working, I was welcomed with open arms, and people immediately attempted to get to know me and develop relationships with me. And I was able to develop lifelong friends from that, and people that I still keep in touch with today.
Coming into school here, it's such a big campus. You get involved in so many things so quickly. A lot of what you do feels like surface level experiences, but when you have that moment where it's not.
We really took a lot of pride in being members of the Ram fam and being able to not only enjoy working with each other, but also enjoy each other's company outside of work and be able to build relationships.
If you're going to give 100% to Ramsey, you will get 100% out of it. So if you're only wanting to give 50%, you'll get 50% out of it and you'll be okay. But if you want to get a lot out of this job and get a lot out of this community and these people, you will. You just have to put in a little bit of effort and you'll get it out.
Anybody that I talk to that's going to UGA, they always ask me advice about class, this and that. And the first piece of advice I tell them is, once you get situated, go get a job at Ramsey. It is a gateway to 100 other students that are looking for friends that don't know anybody and probably have similar hobbies. And then professionally, you are provided with experiences that you'll use later in your career that you aren't given anywhere else. So I think those two things are huge.
I walked into a gym thinking I was going to be working at a gym and ended up making all of these friends, lifelong opportunities. The professional staff is awesome. The people that you work with, your fellow students, you are going to meet so many people. It really is a fabulous place to work.
I mean, it was a very tight group of individuals. Thinking back, there's so many times where everybody knew everybody, it seemed like, but also if something was not being done well, we all knew the standard to which we needed to hold each other to.
When I worked here, RamFam was so important, and that was 4 years ago, and now that I'm back, it's still just as important. So I think that speaks a lot to the institution and the people that created that RamFam culture.
I didn't know going into just working at the rec center on campus how much I would actually learn and help me to grow and develop in my future career path. So I'd say both the people and the skills that I learned is what I'm going to cherish the most and continue to carry on in this path that I'm in.
I think one of the biggest things I'm going to take with me is probably my time management skills, because obviously when you work, you have to deal with work, school, and having a social life all at once. So I think that probably just being more structured and more organized.
Working in this kind of team environment builds strong communication skills. Being able to utilize the radios, but also the emails, the WindoWorks, all the other communication platforms is terrific practice for how you're going to need to interact with other members of your organization once you proceed into your careers after college.
Make sure to connect with people who have similar interests and career aspirations, because some of the people that I'm networking with as a physical therapist are people that I met through my job at UGA.
And sometime what's important now is going to be painting for football camp. Sometime what's important now is going to be cleaning, SNC1 or unlocking lockers. But sometimes what's important now, and often what is important now, is us being together and the connection that we can create to really embody that RamFam mission.
We spent time together both at work, outside of work, and really developed relationships with one another where we got to know each other, and it really did feel like a family.
I think professionalism was a big value that we try to display.
You deal with a lot of interesting people working in the Ramsey Student Center, and I think you gain a ton of responsibility as a college student. I mean, there are not many part-time jobs in the area that give you an entire building to supervise and staff to supervise, and it's a ton of responsibility when someone hands you a master key to a facility. So I learned a lot of responsibility and management and communication. I mean, everything that I embody now in my professional career, I all learned by working at Ramsey.
Just trying to be courteous to all of the patrons and respecting each other and respecting those who were in charge of us.
Learning to put a face for people that are difficult. You'll learn very quickly what we mean.
How to lead, how to effectively manage a staff, how to have difficult conversations.
All people talked about was the RamFam. And I guess you don't get it at first. When you interview and you get the job, you think it's just going to be a part-time job in a gym atmosphere. And you don't really realize how much the RamFam actually comes to life when you work here.
It's where I made countless number of friendships, learned a lot about myself, had the opportunity to grow, and also enabled me to figure out what I wanted to do long-term as a career path.
I would not have had any of the opportunities I've had so far without Ramsey specifically without Josh Stewart, Lisa Williamson, Keith, Brian. I mean, I would have never gotten involved in other areas of campus without them and without Ramsey. I don't know what I would be doing. I don't know what I'd want to do without Ramsey.
Well, I work in rec sports now and I'm back at Ramsey, so it's pretty obvious what the Ramsey Student Center meant to me and what RamFam meant to me, and I think it makes my job a lot easier when the people that work here absolutely love being here and they meet their friends here. It's the reason they stick around. There are so many other opportunities in the area that students could go off and probably make more money doing, but the reason they stay here is because of the RamFam culture.
And RamFam to me honestly just means like community in your staff. So it wasn't just like I was going into work and working with some people and we were all co-workers or employees. Like, it was truly a family.
Once you get into manager positions or other leadership roles, it's a change in dynamic of there are people that are in college that you now have to manage, and it's kind of an uncomfortable adjustment. But what you didn't realize then is once you start working your professional career, that's going to happen, and learning those soft skills in the beginning is really, really helpful for me today.
Working with a wide variety of people, I definitely developed some interpersonal skills that help me to work with people and have some flexibility to work with different personality styles. And I currently use that in my role now as a director, working with different personality styles, really trying to get to know people and help keep them motivated along our mission and our vision.
You got it, have fun, enjoy it.